Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're taking a look at The Stars Have Spoken. This is a contract in the East Beskids region, and this is unlocked after completing First Contact. The only requirements for this contract are you do need to have a truck with a sideboard and 2 portable media stations for this contract. So, we're going to be using the Decin S-3T, and we're going to be starting from the field operations base, and I do have with me a set of anchors and jack screws for emergency purposes. So all we have to do is go drop off these 2 media stations. The first one is going to be right here next to the outpost, after which we're going to follow this path all the way down through the woods and across the river and up over this way. We're going to be going across one bridge, and then we're going to cross the river again over to this island, and right over here we're going to be crossing a second bridge, and then right on up the hill to the second portable media station. So if you don't have either of those bridges installed, it is 75 spare parts each for the 2 bridges. That being said, let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how it's done. So the first thing we're going to do is just leave the outpost here, and we're just going to head up to the south. And then we're going to kind of head up to the left here and go through some of this little snow. There we go. And we're just going to keep following this path here, up through a little bit more snow here. Alright, once we get through the snow, we're going to head off to the right. And we're just going to travel through this back part of the forest here. We just got to go through a couple of swamps here as we make our way over to this first installation location. Right down through the trees here. And right across one more little pond. And right up over here is going to be our media station installation point. So go right up here and install that portable media station. Alright, with that installed, it is time to make our way to this next waypoint, which is right over onto this big island over here. So we're just going to follow that route and make our way over to the island. Now, if you're wondering, I do have extra canisters of fuel in the sideboard as well. I forgot to mention that earlier, but I did pack those extra sideboard slots with some fuel just in case we need it. But we're going to go right through the forest here. And we're going to go right up this hill in between these trees. This is kind of tricky to navigate. We're going to go right over this rock here. Right on down through these trees. And then right across the snow here. And then across through some more snow here. And over this log, and then we're going to travel over some rocks here. And then make our way up to the left. Right over here, we're going to go over some more rocks. And then cut through the trees. And then we're going to head off to the right. And we're going to just go right through this brush here, and that's going to get us into a little swamp that we're going to cross. So we're just going to stick to these high spots just to stay up out of the mud. The best we can, anyway. And right over here, we're going to head to the left and start making our way down to the river. Right over here, we're going to head right on down the hill. And then right down through the rocks here. And then make your way across the river. So we're just going to hop between these islands here. And once we get to this final island, we're just going to go right across. And then from here, we're just going to go right on up the hill. Once we get up the hill, we're going to head to the right. And we're going to head down through these rocks. And then up over in between the tree and the rocks here. And from here, we're going to head right down this hill through these rocks. And then we're just going to follow this path here. It's going to be a little dip down into the water. And then up the hill on the other side. And from here we're going to go across that first bridge that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So if you don't have that bridge built, that is 75 spare parts. And then we're just going to follow this path down up until we get where we can get down to the shoreline and then go across the river again. So just taking it nice and easy here. This is super slanted, bumpy terrain. It's very easy to flip your truck over if you're going too fast through there. And then right over here, we're going to go right through these rocks and get down to the shoreline. Alright, once we get down to the shoreline, it's time to get across the river. So we're just going to hop between the islands here as we make our way across the river. And then right over here, we're just going to make a straight line right across over here. The water is a little bit more shallow if you head towards this direction, plus then we're not fighting the current. So we can kind of use the current there to push the truck forward. And once we get out of the current, we can head on up the hill. This is actually a good time to go ahead and just top off the fuel tank before we continue. So we're just going to kind of cross through this little island pond here. And we're going to head up around these trees. And just go right through the back side of these trees here. And this is going to get us over to bridge number 2. And again, if you don't have this bridge built, it is 75 spare parts. So we're going to go right across the bridge here. And then up and over these rocks. And then we're going to head down this hill just a little bit. And then we're going to head to the left and start making our way up the hill. You can see we're getting close to our meteor station installation point. It's right at the top of this mountain. It is kind of tricky here. There's a lot of bumps and hills here that can unsettle your truck. So just take it nice and easy getting up this hill. And we're just going to climb over the rocks. And just make our way to the top of this mountain here. And that is where you're going to find meteor station installation location number 2. Alright, so go ahead and drop off your portable meteor station. And that is going to complete The Stars Have Spoken, and that is going to reward you with the UAD 2 tires for the Tron BR0D. So I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll see you in the wilds. Bye-bye.